Hello again, you malevolent vermin. It's time for turn number 33. This will be quite a quick turn because I'm a little bit short on time this evening, so let's crack on. Straight some more Doom Wheels, a bit more searching but haven't found anything. Been a bit unlucky with the searching recently. Bought some more Blood Slaves, you can see my income's getting to be okay now. We witnessed a battle between High Elves and Greenskins, but it was just taking a fort, I think, or taking some province defence certainly. And then we've got some unexpected events. We lost a Warpstone Seam there, lost another one there. Got 12 Earth Gems, which is very welcome. And then a bit of Unrest and Magic. Still breached the fortification in Altdorf, and plenty of patrolling going on. So what are we going to do about Altdorf? Well, we finally have positive Dominion here, and although I could wait for another turn and wait for all these blood sacrifices that I've arranged to really kick in, there's several temples there, of course, I think you don't really want me to just sit around waiting. And also, I think I might be getting into a war with another nation pretty soon, so I need to finish this off and get things done. So what I'm going to do is storm the castle, and my battle plan is pretty simple. The god is going to fly in, attacking the rear, and use those smashers, hopefully, to hit the monolith. Not monolith. Big statue of order. We're going to have Council Guard with us and Storm Vermin. The Storm Vermin are really just there to give us more hit points, as are these Clan Rats, so they're on hold and attack. Council Guard are going to be buffed with Strength of Giants and Legions of Steel, and they are going to be given lots of Skitterleaps. So we have multiple mages there casting Skitterleap. We've got some rats thrown in the front, they'll just get annihilated, but that's fine. These guys are not coming in the siege. Yeah, that's it basically. So very straightforward. We've got some Will-o'-the-Wisps that we'll be casting as well because I think they're useful as a distraction, but mostly we're hoping that we send lots of Council God flying into the back, and that acts as cover for our God flying into the back and whacking their Thyris Gorman and their statue. Hopefully getting the statue, that's the main target. I would put them on attack large monsters, but I think they might end up going for Fire Elementals or Summer Lions, so I'm just saying attack rear for now. We'll see how it goes. If it goes horribly wrong, well, it can't go that horribly wrong. We'll still be okay. And we can always just breach them out. As I say, I've got a lot of blood sacrifice going on now, and blood hunts. That's kind of the phase that I'm moving to now, is getting some serious blood income going where I can. Doing some site searching with these mages now, and I've also put in a bid on the Master Druids to try and get some nature. There's a few nature items I can quickly alchemize nature gems. Well, I'd have to alchemize 2 pearls and then to nature, so it's not great, but I haven't arranged any trade, so I think it'll just have to be that. And we've got Conjuration 6 now, so I am casting Summon Spectre here and Summon Spectre here, so 2 Spectres in the capital. And then I've got 1 F3 who is down here, Nordwell, who is casting Summon Flame Spirit, so I'll be able to show those to you next turn. Other than that, we're forging Helmet of Heroes for one of our leaders for our upcoming war, and another Charcoal Shield, which is going to go on one of the thugs. We have several thugs becoming available now, Spectral Mages, potential thugs, Flame Spirit, and so on. So, kind of just building up some equipment in the lab. We've got a few things saying in the lab. We've got some Stingers, Amulets of the Dead. Obviously, that's good for the Assassins. And yeah, Earth Boots. I should stick them because there's no point in not having them on a mage. I'll just stick them on a mage, and they can benefit from the 1 point of research I think it gives. Let's check actually. 15 points. If they wear boots, they go up to, is it 17? 17, yeah. So it gives us 2 points of research just by wearing them, so may as well. Yeah, keeping blood sacrificing. This is my research core, of course. I've got now getting some plague chanters finally, who are just blood one and very cheap. The ones that aren't death one, so I can send them off with a sanguine dowsing rod to do my hunting. And then we're starting to move stuff over here because I think war with the Lizardmen seems pretty inevitable. They're going to want to do stuff with their big armies. They're very scary. I think I would lose in a straightforward war with them potentially, but it looks like that's what's going to happen. So just getting guys into position for that, really. I think that's more or less everything. So I will see you next turn. Oh, actually, just before I go, researching Construction 6 next. Going to get there very quick. Looks like it's going to be 2 and a bit turns, maybe 2 turns if I switch Liverpool to research to get it next turn. we'll be able to forge lightless lanterns, the astral skullcap, various things like that. Anyway, I will see you next turn. Thanks for watching. Welcome back. It's turn number 34. Let's see what's happening. So we've summoned a flame spirit. There's a dire portent, which is that Izta has cast the Mother Oak, and that gives them, I think it's 10 nature gems every month. So I think they're definitely in the number one position in this game now. But it's kind of useful they cast that in a way because it makes other nations go, "Ooh, okay, maybe I need to deal with you." So it might be easier to get people to attack them. We've got 2 summonings of spectral mages, which we'll look at in a moment. And then we've got quite a few blood slows, getting good income now. We have an infiltration of the Greenskins North, which has failed. It failed and they were exposed and had to abort the infiltration. I'm not 100% sure. So my assassin survives. I think they get a report telling them that that happened. And I'm probably going to just try infiltrating again. Or, I don't know, maybe that happened, they may try and patrol me out now. So actually I might just move him. We've got some battles to watch. So Goldtooth Tribe, this is a big fight for their capital. Tilea was sitting on the capital, and this is them trying to free it and breaking siege. This is the High Elves moving into Greenskins territory, and this is a small raid between Tilea and the Ogre Kingdoms. So I'll start with the small raid, I think. We'll have a quick look at that. So we've got one of Tilea's regiments of renown here. The Manflayers, Mengil Manhides Manflayers. Yeah, they've got just a minor mage with them, but basically, Malchus Manflayer rather, and they are just doing a little raid, probably using sailing, and they've run into some province defense, but then also several sacreds. So I suspect this isn't going to go great for them because those sacreds these are not bad units, the Manflayers, but and they're going to make short work of the Noblars, but I don't really think they're up to fighting using Bladewind. They're not really up to fighting these sacreds, unfortunately. If we have a look at the sacreds, what they're like before they get into combat with them, very high protection. They've got very good regen. They go berserk. They hit like an absolute truck. So, yeah, they can't quite do enough damage. You can see the regen's just overcoming the damage they take, and they're quickly chased off. So I think these guys are all going to get wiped out. Let's just watch. Yep. Both their commanders killed. Some of their crossbows killed, and they flee. Okay. And then, of course, we've got our battle at Altdorf. So next I'm going to watch the High Elves. So this is High Elves rolling north with an absolutely massive force. And based on some things that they've said in the Discord, I believe they're coming to attack me with this. They're kind of on like a massive quest of just cutting all the way through the Greenskins along the coast. I'll show you that. And they're coming to get me. So they've got a big army of a big number of bolt throwers. These are very expensive, fire a terrific amount of fire. They're like having like a whole squad of crossbows, because this is 6 attacks each turn, which is, the same as roughly 12 crossbowmen. They also fire these massive ballista bolts. Yes, they've got those. They've got a big set of mages at the back, which they're obviously going to be in a communion. They've got a flying hero. They've got a couple of powerful priestesses there to cast various things. Yeah, so quite a worrying force, and mainly they consist of, I think it's 94 of these lion chariots, which are very strong, and they cost 90 gold each. And we're debating whether they're a bit too strong, but if you look at this, it's a pretty terrifying force. They're just taking province defense, but I know they lose a few chariots, so let's see why they lose a few chariots. So you can see what they're casting: Communion Slayers, Divine Blessing. They're casting Fury of Cain and Falling Frost, and these are this is from their mages back here, or maybe one of the Harathoi, who's boosted up through the Communion to cast it. I'm not sure which one is actually boosted. Which one's the Communion Master? You are the Communion Master. Yeah, so Magic boosted 3, so they'll be at Fire 4, Astral 4. And yeah, they're going to cast this national spell, Fury of Cain. So you can see the Falling Frost landed roughly on side. The Fury of Cain screwed up and hit a bunch of their own chariots, and then a bunch of the bolts also landed on their own chariots. So that's how they lost some of them. When the chariot dies, it turns into one of these, a war lion. You still get the lion afterwards, which is a nice trick. Ah, but they're old. Now that's a bug, because the charioteer was old. The was a lot older than the lion. That's affected the lion because his max age is lower, so I'm going to make a record of that bug and fix that for a future update. So the other battle we witnessed, so I think these are coming from me, and I'll talk a bit how I'm probably going to defend against those in a moment, but the other battle we saw was at the Ogres' homeland, so they are sending absolutely everything. It's like, yeah, huge squad of very expensive mages, the Slaughtermasters. They've got Tyrants, tons of these hench fiends, which are their summonable mages. They're quite nice, and they can fly, of course. They got saber tusks on the flanking, and then lots and lots of pit fighters, so a very scary force. And the Tilean force, significantly less scary. They've got a lot of mage firepower. They've got tons of Tilean sorceresses. Nothing guarding them on this flank. On this flank, we've got the Birdmen of Katraza, which are flying crossbowmen. They're pretty good, but they're just crossbowmen. They've got tons of crossbowmen in the middle. And then they've got this tough block of Dwarven warriors, although as tough as they are, I don't think they're going to do great against pit fighters. So yeah, the Ogres start off by buffing up. Lots of Toothcracker, Troll Guts. They're summoning some Fire Elementals. They're taking this very seriously, this battle, because it's on their cap. And they're sending their... Okay, so we can see what the Sorceresses are casting. It's Fire Cloud, Blade Wind. Yeah, so those are Fire Cloud and Blade Wind, which is great for dealing with not very armoured enemies. So they're going to take quite a hit on the side there. Plenty of imps coming in. The crossbows shoot these guys up a bit, but the flanker successfully worked on this side, and each one of those that's killed is, I think it's 230 gold. It's pretty expensive, so this is really a disaster letting these nippy little cats get in on the side like this. You can see up here they're faring a bit better. Their crossbows are doing great against these more tribe ogres, but they're just not really stopping anyone coming in at the sides. So yeah, they're losing all their mages, and they are looking very imperiled in the centre as well. The Dwarfs are not going to be able to hold up to the pit fighters, so this is really a disaster, especially because they're encircled now, so when their troops try to rout, as these dwarves will end up doing, I mean, the dwarves are actually holding out pretty well in the middle when they're fighting those pit fighters, but yeah, it just can't last, and now they're completely encircled, they're just going to get utterly wiped out. You can see the hench fiends flew in as well, they've probably buffed themselves, yeah, protection 15, so that's probably buffed themselves a bit there with the Toothcracker from Slaughtermaster has made them a bit tougher, and they're pretty nasty. They got poison barbs. Yeah, they're nasty little things. The hench fiends. So even though they've not got particularly strong combat stats, they're good for just flying in and harassing the crossbowmen. So yeah, this is a disaster for Tilea. And I've heard in the Discord they had a very unfortunate battle against Slaanesh and lost a lot of their mages there as well. It was a similar thing. They got flanked and yeah, just didn't have enough to hold the flanks and lost loads of their mages. That is the trouble. If you have a pitched battle and one of your flanks falls, you can end up losing all your mages unless you have lots of troops guarding commander or just securing the flanks. So let's watch our battle in Altdorf now. You can see we've sent in, this is basically just chaff. Some chaff at the front there, the giant rats. Our god is going to fly in at the back, and we've got the storm vermin there to just move in the centre. And then we've got a lot of skitterleap being cast up here, and that's going to help these Council Guard go flying in at the back. So let's see how it works out. So we've got Skitterleaps going off, Summon Earth Power, and there's going to be a Legions of Steel up here and a Strength of Giants. Yeah, Legions of Steel, Strength of Giants, so that went great. So these guys are now hitting for 30 piercing on slash, so that'll be good at hitting what they have, which is... The main thing I was worried about is the Statue of Order, who's got himself up to Protection 32. Ooh. But yeah, a bit of fatigue, which will mean I can get some critical hits on him. And he's only got 90 hit points now because I've got positive Dominion in this place. Thyrus Goblin summoning up Fire Elementals. The rest I'm not really worried about. So let's see what happens when our troops fly over. So there they go, Council Guard flying. Let's see where they come down. Okay, so Council God come flying down all over the statue and immediately start hacking it to pieces, which is great. The god comes down next to them, so the god doesn't get to use the shatters on the... but smashes up the fire elementals. So any fire elementals that Thyrus Gorman makes are going to fight the god and just be slaughtered by her. This fire elemental has managed to get to the middle though, which is going to cause quite a bit of harm, I think. And this is just a gang of useless scholars getting themselves killed. Yep, the god's gone. Just chopped to pieces by these storm vermin. Did quite a bit of damage in the process. Not storm vermin, council guards rather. But yeah, no more god. There's the Will-o'-the-Wisps that I summoned up, and they're distracting Thyrus Gorman, so we're not actually getting any more fire elementals, looks like. So he's too distracted by having an enemy adjacent to him. Here's my god, and adds Thyrus Gorman to her mantle. So she's now killed Thyrus Gorman, One of the dukes, Duke Bermond, the Grandmaster of one of the Knightly Orders. She's gotten quite a few scalps now. In the gate, this is lovely positioning of this fire elemental, right in the middle of the gate. It's jumping up the Vermintide, but it's also killing a lot of Storm Vermin and some Council Guards. So while the Flying Council Guards are killing the archers, and their side is basically routed, we do just have a bit of a problem here. My god's coming to kill some of these archers. Yeah, that's going to cause a few casualties before it finally gets taken out, so let's just put this on fast and see what happens to it. I'm imagining as soon as it takes a couple more hits, it's going to get smaller, and then they'll... God, it is killing a few... Yeah, there it goes, it's going down now. And once it's smaller, it's got less fire shield and so on, so it's a bit easier to deal with. At this small size, fire shield 10, okay, it's still pretty nasty. Still killing a few of my guys. But yeah, it's finally gone. So let's look at the battle reports. Oh, let's look at the battle reports for all of these. The Ogres lost very little and killed a lot, plus 11 Tilean sorcerers. This is a very bad result for Tilea. The High Elves only lost 6 of these. 6 though, if they cost 90 gold each, so 6 of them is actually quite a serious loss. It's a bit strange that the War Lions cost 30, and they of course get War Lions as replacements when they die, but yeah, not great. And then at Altdorf, we lose 15 Clan Rats, that's fine. Poison Globadier, okay. 10 Giant Rats, fine. 10 Council Guard, not brilliant, but that's fine. That's just because of that Fire Elemental, basically. And then 7 Storm Vermin, that's okay. And we finally finish off Altdorf. Rest in peace, Altdorf. You put up a good fight at the very end there. We sneak attacked you, it's what we do. Sorry about that. Got an unexpected event to look at, Jelenia Agora. Very nice, another Warpstone team. Tretch the Grey Seer. So Grey Seers have Fortune Teller, which allows them to see future events that are happening, and sometimes they'll actually prevent things as well, which they've done there. Prevented a bad event happening at our cap, which is very nice. And then in Norfangs, yeah, okay, Brigands, that's fine. We lost a scout in the Lizardmen area, and then, yeah, managed to get the Master Druid, mercenary, and got some, killed off Altdorf and did a bunch of patrolling. So let's have a quick look at what's going on. So as you can see, the High Elves have made a very clear beeline up this coast. And to me, it looks like they are doing exactly what they said they would do, which is to go past the Greenskins and attack me. I think because I made the nations, they want to kind of go and attack me with things that are quite strong, which is fair enough. It might just be that they want to destroy Skaven generally. They also have access to score graphs, so they know that I'm pretty strong. They've got a site that gives them mundane score graphs. So, having looked at their army composition, let's have another quick look, just so I can talk about my tactics against these guys. Obviously, if they knew what they were being hit with, there is a lot they could do, because they've got a communion, which is we're going to get very high astral and very high fire. Fine. They've got a flying commander who can come in and you could use items and hit me very hard. They can cast swarms, they can do soul slays, all kinds of things if they've got the research for it. But I don't think that they do know what I'm going to hit them with, and consequently I'm just going to have to mainly worry about fighting all these chariots. Now, the chariots hit very hard, so I'll need something very tough. But a thing that is a disadvantage for them is that they have these length 0 weapons because of the big pussycat pulling the chariot along. And that means that if you put a fire shield in their way, you know, they've got good protection, but not great protection, and they've not got great hit points, they're going to get roasted. So the correct counter to them is either to have a very, very tough, difficult to deal with fire shielded thing, which could be my god. It can also use repels because they don't have length 4 weapons, although they do have good defense and good morale, so it's hard. Although they don't attack you that much because they don't have the density, because it's one of them to a square, because they're size 4. But yeah, it's either that or you could put a massive wall of fire elementals and earth elementals and just splat with those, mostly fire elementals. If you had a ton of fire elementals, it would work great against them. Can I make a ton of fire elementals? Maybe not enough to stop this from getting behind me and hitting my mages. I'd have to make a lot. It'd have to be a great big line of them. They'll absolutely dice through any infantry I put in their way. I can use some to hold them a bit. I can send tons of Vermintide to slow them down, but they do have 4 attacks. They'll go through that very quick. Yeah, I think my best bet here is 2 things. One is I'm probably going to use my god. I'm going to drop my god right on top of them, where I think they're going to go. And the other thing is and put her right at the back so she's out of the way of some of these major spells, and hopefully she's not going to get blasted with Soul Slayer or anything, but we'll see. I could do some Fire Elementals as well, and then have the people that cast them run off. That's reasonable. The other thing that I can do is hit them with Assassins, because they do have some guards on some of their mages, but I'm pretty confident I could pick a few of these guys off, and I don't think they would script anything useful in an assassination. It would just get killed by our basic assassin ideas. So what I'm doing is recruiting a bunch of assassins, and I'm making them some of the undead charms that let them crust animate skeleton. I think that the elves are going to move here, so I'm moving at least one assassin there, but I want to just get lots of assassins in this area, try and predict where they're going, put all the assassins in there, and then when they move in, assassinate them all. Hopefully then cut off retreats and make the army route. That would be ideal, but we'll see. I think they're going to move there, but I don't have an agreement with the orcs. I might try talking to them before I finish this turn off completely, and just get an agreement on if they're going to try and mount a defense there, or if they're just going to abandon that. Because if they're going to abandon it, I could just fly my god directly there. Oh no, I can't. Now why can't you reach it? I think you just don't have enough map. Oh, you've got troops. That's why. If I take your troops off, this will look different. Take your troops off. Yeah, so my god could just fly there. Now I don't have positive dominion there, which is going to make me a bit more vulnerable. But I think she could probably still kill a lot of them, if not completely succeed. I don't know though. I'd rather wait one more turn, let them move up there, and then I'll either move to one of these two, and I can set up some traps for them. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do, but I will ask the orcs just in case. I also need her research because I am going for construction level 6, and I only just have enough research. I need 651, I've got 660, so I have to be careful that I make sure I have enough research to do that. For other options against them, I'm casting some Warp Lightning Throwers, and I am recruiting some more Warp Lightning Throwers and Poison Wind Mortars, both of which would work fine against them. I wish I had more Poison Wind Mortars over here, actually. Do I have some spares over here? I do have some spares over here. And I think I have a little lad here. Now, how much research have you got? 5. Yeah, so you can start walking some Poison Wind Mortars over. The problem is that I don't want to move everything over here to deal with this new threat, because I think the Lizardmen are going to attack me as well, and they're probably coordinating with the High Elves. So I'm making sure that I maintain things in both places. So these are the 2 Spectral Mages that I got. I got one with Water 2, so they've got randoms are Death, Water, Earth, Astral. They've got 2 100% random picks on those, and then they've got 1 Death guaranteed. So I was quite lucky to get a Water 2. There's a few things I can do with them, but for now, Voice of Apsu is a remote site searching spell. They're just going to search a province every single turn with that. And this one is forging me up a Frostbrand. That's Water, Astral, Death, which is useful for a few things. I didn't mention it before, but I got a brilliantly good Grey Slayer here. I got a very lucky roll, and I ended up getting 4 Astral on them. So then with a coin, and then with a cap, there'll be Astral 6, which is fantastic for a lot of different things. Not that we have a good Astral income, despite quite a bit of searching, which is unfortunate. Yeah, so I'm forging another Amulet of the Dead for an Assassin to wield. I'm summoning one more Spectral Mage here, and I'm summoning another Spectral Mage over here. Really am just using up all my Death Gems because I do want Spectral Mages. I've got Flame Spirit, and the Flame Spirit is summoning more Flame Spirits. They're very useful for a variety of reasons. You can use them as, because they've got area effect 1 weapon basically on them, built in, and they've got Fire Shield, and they've got 2 Will o' the Wisps. You can use them as thugs. What they really need is to have some armor and a helmet. That will give them the protection that they need. And then there's, some useful things they could cast. Phoenix Pyre being the ideal, but for now, I think the most likely use is that I'm going to have a bunch of them and have them cast Fire Elementals, and they'll just be my Fire Elemental core. I could forge Shade Mail and make them stealthy as well, which would be good for kind of raiding. But yeah. I've also decided to cast Akashic Record at the High Elves, because of its great range I can do that. That's partly just to show you what their stats are like. It's partly so I know how worried I have to be about their research, how good it is. I think it's probably going to be pretty good because they are a very strong nation. They're intended to be strong, but maybe they're a bit too strong. And I know that they haven't really been through any tiring wars so far. They haven't really lost very much. So yeah, that's basically the plan. Still sacrificing things around here to build up minion. Fortifying everything that I can. And moving some forces over here in case the Lizardmen attack me. So yeah, a bit of everything. Gonna start building some thugs. I have some great equipment that I'm building up in the lab, ready for thugging action. Charcoal shield, boots of long stride, helmet of heroes. I've got smashers. Oh, I've got a dwarven hammer. I should use that to forge something. Yeah, so I've got quite a few things that I can put out, and I'm going to be building more and more. I think I might use my dwarven hammer to forge another dwarven hammer, but I have to be careful about getting the right amount of research to hit my construction 6 target for next turn. I'll tell you what I will do. Drogskull can stay here. I was going to move in to be helpful to potential defense against the High Elves next turn, but I'm going to give him a dwarven hammer. And I think what I'm going to do is just do we have earth boots kicking around? Maybe I've already put earth boots somewhere. Hold on. No, they're just on a researcher. Yeah. Sorry about this. Move earth boots over here. Earth 3, and then you can forge me another dwarven hammer. I think having 3 of them operational is definitely a good idea. So there we go. Got the full discount of 3 gems on that. So it's a 12 gem dwarven hammer. Great. Is that everything? Nordor's moving in. You're staying back to cast Flame Spirits. Do I have enough research? Yes, 653, 651. Perfect, unless someone just dies. That is always a possibility one of them dies before they can do their research, I think. But yeah, that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next turn.